everyone. Just jumping online for a quick video. Again, I'm just here chronicling my journey post-employment. For those who may not have seen the last video, January the 17th, which was Martin Luther King Day, I wrote a resignation letter after toiling with this idea of leaving my job for months. And so free at last, thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. Speaking of which, I hope everyone's enjoying um, Black History Month. And I got my little shirt, Shine a Light on Black Excellence. I actually got this from Sam's Club. Can you believe that? I guess they did a t-shirt competition and they had some African American like t-shirt designers come up with some designs, and this one won. So yeah, but at any rate, I hope everyone's enjoying their Black History Month. But yeah, so I decided to resign from my job, and I'm in week 2. Not moving as quickly as I wanted to, but also moving forward, so it's not too bad. One of the things about me is that I was recently screened for ADHD. I noticed some issues that seem to have been like some consistent like patterns of behavior that were troublesome and just wasn't allowing me to be productive, and so I got screened. And I do have ADHD, and one of the things about us is even though we hate structure, we need it so much, because we just won't get anything done, and we'll go around in circles and we'll exhaust a lot of energy, but we don't get anything done. And another thing about people with ADHD is we love things that are novel, so we get bored easily because our attention span is sometimes short, and we start to shut down when there's tasks and stuff that we no longer want to engage in. So with me having to create my own structure now by not having a job and kind of like be my own boss, like I'm really starting to see like these characteristics of my ADHD come out. And so like for example, right now I'm supposed to be reading for my class tonight at 6, and I'm on here like making a video. So but it's that avoidant tendencies. So I promised myself I'm going to focus on that, because I know they use the Socratic method in law school, and I hate when I get put on the spot and don't know the answer to a question. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out. But at any rate, so I have been learning about some certifications and things I need to have a business out of my home. So I'm hoping to do baking in my local area. And there's like these cottage food laws and these limited like food establishments. I don't know all the words. You would think I knew this stuff because I'm in law school, but they don't actually teach you about this stuff. So I'm in the process of like starting to do some research, and I'll dig a little bit more into it tomorrow. But yeah, so just these certifications that I need, like some safe serve training, for food safety and stuff like that. And I just want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing so that people can trust me, because it's hard to trust. You can't eat everybody's food, you know what I mean? But you definitely want to make sure that it's coming from a sanitized place. Like I've been to weddings and I've seen the chefs, and their environment was disgusting. I mean, there's flies everywhere. They're using garbage cans as buckets, and it was just ugh. And it's like I don't want to replicate that. I want to do better than that. I know how I am. I'm a stickler for clean, like cooking environments, and my mom was like that. There were times she wouldn't even cook dinner without making us do the dishes and clean up first, especially if we didn't do them the night before. And she's like, if y'all want to eat, y'all got to clean this kitchen, because I'm not cooking in a dirty kitchen. So definitely get that from my mama, which is good, right? Because you're always supposed to clean and sanitize anyway before and after you make anything, especially if you're selling it to the public. So there are just some basic things I think that are, I hate to say common sense, because common sense really isn't that common anymore, but that should be common sense. You know what I mean? So, but always having a certification, having that on display, having that available for people to see and to look up, I think will be a good thing, as well as getting a permit, because as a person who wants to sit down for the bar, I want to make sure that I'm legal and not doing things that I'm not supposed to, be doing. And so, so just making some progress, doing some research there, and then made it to the bank last week. Was able to open up a business account, so I'm waiting on my debit cards and everything. That way I can start purchasing some of these like trainings and certifications, and I'm excited. So not as excited as I was last week. Definitely seeing how big of a task it is, and I know I'm in for a ride. But again, the whole point was if I'm going to exhaust so much energy into building somebody else's life and dream, I might as well put all that energy into myself. And so I need to do this, and so I'm going to do it. And I also have an interview coming up for clerkship. So this was nice because I'll hopefully have some, training, more training this summer as it pertains to my law degree. Um, and just flexibility is doing something for me. So people are like, girl, you're glowing. So I'm like, all right now, so something broke, and I'm at peace. I'm happy with the decision that I've made. And I think I said in the last video that I had less than $1,000 to my name, and I know everybody doesn't believe in God, so please don't get offended by my religious references. But when God shows up, God shows up, and um, I'm going to be okay. I know I'm going to be okay. This was definitely the right move to make. And so, again, making these videos just to have something to refer back to for myself and keep myself encouraged. And if somebody else gets blessed in the process of watching my journey, that's something that I'll take. But yeah, so just getting on here again and just trying to be accountable to myself and maybe one day to others. Because I don't know if anybody's watching, but if so, it'll definitely be helpful. But also, I was talking to my therapist today, so in light of the whole ADHD thing, I meet with somebody on a regular basis, and one of the things I touched base on in my last video was making sure that I stayed true to accomplishing what was on my vision board from 2 years ago that I never completed, and one of those was dealing with this weight. I've been noticing, and I'm only in my 30s, and I'm like looking back at pictures and videos, and I was like, whoa, child, I was sexy. And I'm not saying I'm not sexy now, but it's just a different kind. And it's like, I won't say a different kind of sexy. I love me, but I can tell that I'm not my old self. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not as happy with myself as I once was. And I see how it's like, because I'm unhappy with myself, how I treat my body, and because I treat my body the way I do, the health issues that come with it. And then the more health issues I have, the more unhappy I am with my body. And then the more unhappy I am with my body, it's like this cycle just keeps continuing. And so, I have to do something to get off this hamster wheel. And the thing is, like, I'm looking at a treadmill. Like, you can't see it, but there's a treadmill literally sitting across from me. I have, like I said, workout videos. I have free weights. But I think part of my thing is just needing to get out of the house and be accountable. And, these things here can be like supplemental, but I just have to do something about my health. And, I'm only in my 30s. Like, I don't want to live the rest of my life in pain and uncomfortable. And, the goal, big or small, I want to lose weight. My goal weight is actually only 200 pounds. I don't want to be thin. Thin is not for me. Anybody who wants to be 150, God bless you. But for me, like, bobblehead is not in my ministry. It's not in my future. And, I don't want to be thin. I love being a full figure woman, but I want to be a healthy full figure woman. You see athletes all the time, especially like in the NFL, who are heavy guys, but they can move. They know how to move their weight. They're training. They're constantly active, and so you don't have to necessarily make thin your goal, but it doesn't mean that being heavy means that you just have to be sick and unhappy and miserable. And so, I want to find this balance. I don't want to be skinny, but I want to be healthy. And if I lose weight as a result of getting healthy, then that's fine. But like, once I get to that kind of 200 range, which they still would probably consider obese considering my height, but whatever, once I get down to that range, probably cut back on some things because I just don't want to get too small. But yeah, definitely want to be healthy. Definitely got to change my eating habits. And that's one of the, well, I guess I won't expose it too early. So never mind, scratch that point. But yeah, just changing my eating habits, just doing better for myself. I don't want to be like full vegan, maybe like faux vegan, because as long as there's this thing called pork bacon, I'm never going to be vegan. Like, I love bacon. bacon is what heaven would be like if it was a piece of meat. And I know that bacon is for me. And so, but it doesn't mean that I have to have it every day. It doesn't mean that I have to have it a lot. Just wanting to get more into like, going back to how I used to do clean eating and things like that. And, always having fruits and vegetables and eating more of that and less carbs and less junk, which is easy for me to do since I am a baker. And especially now that I want to do that as a business, it's going to put me in a position where I'm baking more, and then obviously increasing the opportunities of having to taste things, as I'm sending them out, because for me, that's important that people get quality. So at any rate, so that's all. I'm not going to be here too long. But, I know I missed Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day was yesterday. I hope people had a nice Valentine's Day, whether you're single or whether you're in a relationship. If you're single, I hope you're intentional about doing something nice for yourself. If you're in a relationship, I hope that you had fun with your partner, whether it was this weekend or if you're going to do something this weekend that you have fun with your partners. But, share love all year round. Don't just wait till Valentine's Day. And love yourself all around, year round. You don't have to wait to birthdays or special occasions. Like, you are special, and nobody is going to be able to care for you and love on you the way you can love on yourself. Even if you're in a relationship, some people struggle in relationships because they never fully learn the benefit of being single, which doesn't always mean lonely, but sometimes it can mean unique, right? And so you are a unique creature. You have value. You were born with purpose. And you have to own that and stand in it and love everything about yourself and take full ownership of that, regardless of who's in your life. Because the worst thing in the world you want is to feel lonely when you have someone laying right next to you, and I've been there. So, so yeah, love on yourself if you don't have someone, and if you do, take some time for you, but also share that love. It's easier to give love sometimes when we really love ourselves, and to receive it, right? Because sometimes when we don't love ourselves, what do? Oh, you're just saying that because you have to, and you don't really accept it and believe it the way people want to offer it to you. So it starts in here, So I hope you are taking care of yourselves. I hope you are seeking purpose, cultivating purpose, walking in your purpose. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to be back on next week. So, bye.